And let me pull up our storyboard slides. All right, you can see our order here. So we are going to start with Southeast Health, then we'll go to Claiborne, Jefferson counties, then South Central Missouri, then Houma County will wrap us up. If you are on a team that did not get a chance to submit your storyboard, I do have just a slide in here for you to please prepare, be prepared to verbally share your best test or your best learning from the previous 90 days. So, and I'm gonna be watching the time. Let's shoot for 4 minutes each. So who do I have from Southeast Health who's gonna present?
I am Teresa.
All right. Take it away.
Well, hello, I'm Teresa Glastetter. I'm the nurse manager for CMO Building Blocks Nurse Friendly Partnership in Southeast Missouri. The screen you see right now, these are the nurses that are in our McV program. We also have 3 nurses, or two more nurses, well, 3, that do the program for our Title V funds. So we're doing this COIN program agency-wide, so all the nurses are doing it. Erica is our newest hire nurse. She's been here just right at 3 months. And we also had a new nurse hired named Jessica, and her picture is not up here at this time. It will be the next time we have one of these. So you can go to the next screen. Whoops. Okay, our primary driver 1 was the one that we had tested and had good results with. It's the data tracking system and understanding the breastfeeding data. The main thing we did was we developed an infant feeding questionnaire that was just developed in our program that is just a series of open-ended questions. And it starts with not only do you want to breastfeed, but how do you want to feed your baby? And if the mother has chosen formula feeding, because we have some moms that it is contraindicated that they cannot breastfeed, we want to make sure that they understand it is okay to formula feed if you have to, it's okay. And what questions do you have about formula feeding? Because we can't assume that every mom knows how to formula feed. So we do make that an option for our moms as well. We had it decided that we were going to complete the form in the first 4 to 8 visits. I know that there had been some comments on wanting us to kind of have a certain date when it's done, like a certain visit or in the program. And we admit clients anywhere from 8 weeks gestation up to 38 weeks or later gestation, because we can admit multiparous women up until the day they deliver. So it's really hard for us to just choose a certain time point when this form is going to be completed. And also it is helpful for some nurses that it's answered over a series of visits. It's not all completed necessarily on one visit, because that mom may have a lot of information or a lot of stuff she needs to talk about. And we want to make sure we're doing what the mom needs, not just that we need to have this form answered. So it may be we answer just one question and they may talk 5, 8, 10 minutes on just that one question. And then it might be time we need to go on to another topic. So it may take a couple visits or more to get this form even completed. We had, after our first cycle of it, we had a couple of questions that we wanted to tweak. Actually, there's a couple that we actually joined together because they were pretty close to being the same. And then we used that changed form for the next 2 cycles. When we were done, we had a lot of positive feedback from the nurses. And so we decided that we would make this form be a form that we would use with all of our prenatal clients. You can go to the next screen. This is some of the data that we had from January through, I believe, was it April? Yeah, through April. We actually have had an increase of the overall goal was 30% for this particular object of the I forgot what it's called. Anyway, we were able to increase our level of breastfeeding at 3 months from 15.4% in February up to 27.5% in April. And that's where we were pretty excited about that. So that's a positive. So, and next slide. And then for this one, we had gone from women with the intention to breastfeed. In February, I hadn't done the data search on that, so I had no data for February. In March, I had done the data on that one, and only 1 out of the 6 clients that we had in March actually initiated breastfeeding. But in April, we had 4 out of 5. So we went from 16.7% to 80%. So we were pretty excited about that as well.
All right, and I'm gonna have to switch to the next team just to make sure we all get through before our time runs out and they send us back to the main room. I will put in a plug though, that I have seen the team's PDSAs, and if their change idea of that breastfeeding questionnaire sparks something for you, they saved a copy of it to their PDSA. So you can go to the dashboard and you can find it and you can see their questionnaire. So thanks so much.
All right, thank you.
All right, who will be talking from Claiborne, Jefferson counties?
I will.
All right.
Okay, our change idea was during this cycle, we changed the approach while talking to the families about breastfeeding. And then we realized that using more videos and personal stories with other families that's graduated from the program or from just people that we know that would give us the okay that's been successful with breastfeeding, come in and talk to our families about the pros and cons of breastfeeding. After that, what we learned that using we had previous successes, we asked those families to give us tips that we could tell the families that want to breastfeed from the families that had successes. Okay, the data was from basically May 14th to June 14th. The first week we started off a little low, and then as we continue to talk about the different things with other families that we could tell our new families that's coming in that want to initiate or breastfeed, we started expressing and the concerns that they had, and we started talking about those different challenges that might come up. And those challenges that did come up, they overcame those challenges and they continued to breastfeed for longer than the 6 months period. What aspect of this change are we most proud of? The change we're most proud of is that we'll begin to do peer-to-peer. And we saw that as we did peer-to-peer, it started to increase our breastfeeding and have our moms to breastfeed longer. And what we'll do next, we'll just continue to share our success stories, and then we'll also start incorporating the breastfeeding self-efficacy scale as well.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. And do we have someone from the South Central Missouri team who can just tell us about your most successful testing or learning in action period 1?
I am second string on this. Nadine normally does this and she's in another meeting. So let me see what I can do here.
Okay.
I don't think that's ours.
Yeah, I don't have slides for your team, so I just have this as a placeholder if you want to tell us about what you've been testing.
Okay, let me get mine up. I guess I just assumed you would have it. We had been testing out the theory of the individual breastfeeding plans. According to the survey, we had a lot of working mothers that were overwhelmed with time management. So we've been learning through the process that to develop an individual breastfeeding plan with them so they can gain back some of their time. What's appropriate with them. Send me the slides she sent.
I'm sorry, I'm not sure why we didn't get them or why they didn't make it to me. But we can make sure they get posted with the recording so that everyone can see your slides.
Okay, thank you.
So anything more you want to say about what you learned or what you think you might do next for that test?
No, I really don't have the information in front of me. So let's just put a pin in that and we'll wait till Lisa and Nadine get back.
Okay.
Thank
I
you.
was gonna say, this is Melinda with Missouri. Scotty, I'm getting ready to forward them to you right now. So maybe at the end, if you wanted to share, because Lisa did send them to me, but I just,
Okay.
as a
Great.
resource.
We can flip to the next team and I can pull them up from my email. Thank you. All right, so how about our next Mississippi team?
Hey, this is Kristen. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I will be speaking today for Coahoma County. So our agency, we are Healthy Families Mississippi and Coahoma County. And of course, our topic is breastfeeding. Our goal is to have 90% of the women have an infant feeding plan and goals written prior to delivery. The changes that we feel can make an improvement, infant feeding plans to support the families to meet infant feeding goals, including decisions regarding skin to skin, rooming in and pacifier use, and formal and informal supports and support through key transitions. We feel like if we discuss and create infant feeding plans to introduce the mothers, that we will have an increase in mothers initiating breastfeeding. And this will be done by the family support specialists through virtual phone and video visits. As of now, from February to April, we had a total number of 8 prenatal mothers to enroll, and 4 out of 8 of them did decide to intend to breastfeed. So coming up this month, we plan to have a meeting with our moms who are postnatal and those that are currently breastfeeding to join in with the prenatal mothers who have expressed interest in breastfeeding. And that's just so that they can actually get someone who is actually breastfeeding on the program. They can share their experiences with them, and hopefully it will, encourage them to breastfeed. We also have received new breastfeeding education material and a binder that we'll use. And moving forward, we plan to use the self-efficacy scale for home visitors to promote breastfeeding.
All right. Thank you, teams, for presenting. I'm not seeing slides in my inbox just yet. So we do have 2 minutes left. Does anyone have a question for one of the other teams that you just heard present?
Hi, this is Teresa with Missouri. I have a question.
Mhm.
For the Mississippi Healthy Families that are doing the peer-to-peer breastfeeding. Or is that all being done by video, or are you having in-person meetings where the mothers can get together? How are you doing the peer-to-peer?
Well, before COVID, we were doing it with our parent meeting, but now that COVID is here, we do it through our Zoom, Google Duo, any kind of way we can do like a video chat or something with them. And that's how we are doing now our peer-to-peer.
All right.
Thank you.
And I have received the slides. Thank you, Melinda, for sending them to me. I know we only have a minute, but if there's anything you want to say about your slides, please do, and we'll make sure these get saved with the recording.
It just goes back to us doing the breastfeeding plan. That is what we learned on our first cycle of questions through our survey.
And so it looks like you're doing some work as part of those breastfeeding plans to specifically think about that return to work and what moms need to support them with that.
Exactly.
And so is this the individual breastfeeding plan, is this something that you've now decided you're going to adopt and use with all families? Or all
It is.
families?
It is. We are actually had sent